Time to do some prop queen edges. And Marley is not happy. She was quiet all day. And now she is like not having it being in that crate. So we've got Premier Lacrosse today. Actually, before I get to it, look at what this just broke. The latest in the Terry Rozier gambling case. A pro bettor placed 30 wagers in 46 minutes involving Rozier in 2023. 13.7K was bet on Rozier unders. All bets won, and Rozier left the game after 10 minutes with a foot issue. Ooh. Was there really a foot issue, or did he just tell the guy that there was a, like, I'm curious. I'm curious about this. I didn't make graphics today because, as you could tell, I've been, like, coughing and not sleeping. Marley's been keeping me awake. She, like, only sleeps 5 hours now, so it's very annoying. But let's go to a little props.cash. And I'm going to show you guys some of my props.cash stuff for today. So, and we do have Premier Lacrosse, which I'll get to in a second. And I have strikeout props, so I'll tell you that. But first, let's start with so props.cash. Some of the players that I was looking at today. So, like, there are a few players that do have some good matchups. First off, and you're seeing my screen. Okay. Nathaniel Lowe of Washington, he has a good matchup against Dylan Cease. So if you look at his hits, runs, and RBI, he's gone over it in 3 of his last 5 home games. Let's see, home. 3 of his last 5 have gone over. Both games at night in San Diego. Wait, sorry, he's not at home. He's on the road. That's my bad. Hold on. On the road. Now I'm confused. Wait, both games at night again. Oh, sorry. Okay. No, they're home. Got it. At home, and then at home at night against San Diego. He went over in both. So Nathaniel Lowe over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI. He's hitting 455 with 2 home runs against Dylan Cease. Steven Kwan's hitting 500 against JP Sears, but there wasn't really anything that stood out for him. George Springer was the next one. His over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI stood out. He's averaging 2 hits, runs, and RBI at home this season, 2.4 at home this season. And he's hit it in 3 of his last 5. So that's another one because Springer is 6 for 16, which is 375 with 2 homers against Justin Verlander. You could also see, well, not there. Gleyber Torres. He also has a good matchup. So Gleyber Torres on the Tigers, he is hitting 308 with 2 home runs against Patrick Corbin. So you could look at his hits, runs, and RBI, and you could look at, oh, that's not good against lefties. Are they? Shawn Michaels going to laugh at me now. Schedule. Detroit Tigers are on the road. Yeah, so his road numbers are better. Hits, runs, and RBI for Gleyber Torres on the road at night against the lefty. He's hit it in 62% of games, 3 of the last 5. So, Gleyber Torres over hits, runs, and RBI. Matt Vierling, he's hitting 444 with a double and a home run against Corbin, but no, like, props really stood out for him. Ryan O'Hearn over 1/2 a hit is very juiced, but if you're the type to do like parlays and stuff, then you could take a look at this if you wanted to throw it in your parlay because he's hit in 63% of road games. Wait, not against lefty. 63% of road games when he is facing off with the Rays. And against Taj Bradley, he's hitting 417 with 2 doubles and a home run, Ryan O'Hearn. And he's done well in his road games with 6 of the last 10 going over. So that's pretty good. And then lastly is Gunnar Henderson for a good matchup. If you wanted to look at Gunnar. So Gunnar Henderson on the road at night in the matchup. So head to head. Where is this? Why am I? There was a stat. Oh, that's why, 'cause we're on hits. Silly me. There we go. His hits, runs, and RBIs hit in 75% of games against the Rays in Tampa when facing a right-hander at night, and that dates back to 2024. Overall, he has cashed in 8 of Henderson's last 10 road games at night. So, averaging 3 hits, runs, and RBI in his last 10 games on the road. So, Gunnar Henderson could be a play tonight. Jose Altuve is a fade tonight. I would not be taking him. So, Jose Altuve, why aren't you showing up? There we go. So, Jose Altuve hits, runs, and RBI. You could be fading because when he's faced off with Seattle, look at this, head-to-head against Seattle. He's gone under this for 5 of his 7 games against them. So I'd be fading Jose Altuve. He's hitting .211 with 7 strikeouts against Luis Castillo in his career. And one more fade for tonight on the Astros is Christian Walker. Christian Walker also struggling in Seattle. It's cashed in 5 of his last 6 in Seattle. Right, hits, runs, and RBI. Yeah, and all 4 night games have gone under. So definitely something to check out for fading Christian Walker. I haven't looked at the chat recently. It's all Sean Michael. Okay, sorry. I'm just going through all of the hitter props that you guys could be looking at tonight. Another hitter prop. So this one's under a total basis prop for Byron Buxton. He's coming off the All-Star game, and believe it or not, I cannot believe that Byron Buxton has never played in Colorado before. He's played the Rockies, but never in Colorado. So looking at his numbers on the road, Buxton, not very good. So he's gone under in like 70% of games this season on the road. 13 of 20 went under, let's see, on the road at night. A lot of red there. And since he's never played in Colorado before, but on the road against lefties, because Kyle Freeland's pitching, he's also gone under a bunch in 65% of games. So something to keep, or 60% of games. Something to keep a look at there for Byron Buxton, fading him off the All-Star break. Didn't get much time off. Now has to go to Colorado. Never played in Colorado before, so that's something to keep in mind. Now, if you want a hot player to keep on betting, Cody Bellinger. He has been so good. And I know that the numbers don't stand out overall for him, especially when up against Atlanta, but he doesn't have the greatest. He's hitting .287 in Atlanta in his career, but the head-to-head isn't like favorable for the last couple of years. But overall, look at this. Like, it's gone over in 6 of 10, 4 of the last 5 for Cody Bellinger on the road at night. On the road in general, he's been doing well. 8 of the last 10 have gone over for Cody Bellinger of hits, runs, and RBI. So he's someone else to be looking at if you want to ride the hot streak. Corey Seager, this is the last hitter's prop, and then we'll go to pitchers. Corey Seager, look at all that green. I think the Rangers are at home, though. So let me just switch that to home. So Corey Seager is at home, and in 67%, which is 2 of 3, but of these games against Detroit, he's gone over at home. He also has gone over in 7 of his last 10 home games, including 5 straight. And dating back to last year, just overall against Detroit, Corey Seager has gone over in 71% of games. So Corey Seager is definitely a name that you guys should be looking at tonight. Okay, and then I've got the strikeout props. Let me stop sharing. So hopefully that gave you guys some good hitter props for tonight. Pitcher props to look at for tonight. I've got all strikeout props for today. Nothing really stood out on props.cash for me with pitcher props, but I used the strikeout prop spreadsheet to analyze the strikeout props for tonight in Major League Baseball. I agree with mid-major Matt on Jonathan Cannon over 3.5 Ks. He's had 4 strikeouts against Pittsburgh last year. 19 of the last 24 right-handed starting pitchers have gone over this against Pittsburgh. Phillies lefty Jesus Luzardo, his over 6.5 does scare me a little bit. Yet he cashed the over in 6 of 10 starts against teams with high strikeout rates against lefties. 13 of the 17 lefty starters to face the Angels have gone over their strikeout prop, averaging just over 6 strikeouts a start. I'm going to show you the baseball prop spreadsheet to show you some of these most recent lefties to go up against them. Like, Luzardo should be going over if these other dudes can. Let me put it up on the screen. Here's the MLB prop spreadsheet. We're going to the Angels against the lefties. You see this left-handed pitcher column. Patrick Corbin just had 6 strikeouts against the Angels. Eric Lauer just had 6. Mitch Parker, he sucks. Then Garrett Crochet had 10. Walter had 6. And then Carlos Rodon had 7. So the 2 good pitchers on this list, Carlos Rodon and Garrett Crochet, went over 6.5 Ks. And the 2 that came up short are terrible. Patrick Corbin and Eric Lauer. Jesus Luzardo at home should definitely be going over this, as long as you don't care that they're coming off the All-Star break. So over 6.5 Ks for Luzardo. I'm fading Mike Soroka tonight. You could look at his under outs, but I like his under 4.5 Ks. He's only faced 2 low K rate teams this season. Toronto, he had 3 strikeouts. St. Louis, he had 4. Righty starters averaging about 4 strikeouts a game against the Padres. And lastly, Athletics lefty JP Sears over 3.5 Ks. He's hit this over in 9 of 16 games against high K rate lineups. Lefty starters, 18 overs and 7 unders for their K prop against the Guardians, averaging just under 6 strikeouts a game. So the Guardians strike out a lot more against lefties. JP Sears worries me a little bit, but with the way that some of these teams are hitting, maybe he stays in the game because they're not hitting him hard enough. But those are my favorite strikeout props of the day. And then, of course, we have, stop sharing screen, share screen. We've got Premier Lacrosse. So let's talk a little Premier Lacrosse. I do have, and someone was emailing me before that they were struggling to find lacrosse props. It's literally if you go to FanDuel and then you go to lacrosse. So there are 4 games this weekend. The one I'm looking at is the Atlas, the first one, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, the Atlas and the California Redwoods. Connor Schellenberger over 2.5 goals is in plus money. He's coming off a 5-goal game. He's only had 2 hat tricks this season. But last season against the Redwoods, Shelley had 4 goals and a 7-point performance, and he's gone from 50-1 to plus 550 in the MVP market. So he's doing well, and he's got a good matchup against the struggling Redwoods team. So that would be my favorite play today in Premier Lacrosse for my favorite prop, Connor Schellenberger over 2.5 goals. I have to think of what I want my Royal Lock to be today. Probably a strikeout prop. I think I know what it is. Okay, I've got one Royal Lock today. So let's get to it. Royal Lock. Royal Lock of the day, Nats righty Mike Soroka under 4.5 Ks. Again, he's only faced 2 low K rate teams. He had 3 against Toronto, 4 against St. Louis. With the Padres averaging about 4 strikeouts a game, I would look to the under on Mike Soroka tonight. JP Sears also kind of could be. It fills in the category of a Royal Lock because the Guardians strike out so much against lefties. He just scares me a little bit. But he's gone over in 9 of 16 this season against high K rate teams.